Greetings. This is George Boston Rhymes on Boston G.B.R. on YouTube. More information can be found at my blog, kbci.blogspot.com. Those acronyms mean keeping Valdosta citizens informed. And with the use of YouTube, we hopefully now will be informing the entire world. And so we want you to visit Boston G.B.R. Today I'm at the Highway 84, and where there will be perhaps $10 million spent on building an overpass. And I'm in the city of Valdosta, Georgia, and I'm asking the question of those $10+ million, how much of those dollars will be spent or earned by the low economically depressed communities here in Valdosta, Georgia? In other words, will the parents of the children who are filling the jails and prisons and probation rolls benefit from the dollars that would be spent here on Highway 84 West in building and construction this overpass over the railroad track? Just food for thought. Mr. John Robinson and myself have been fighting for 3.5, 4 years plus to ensure that black African Americans, low income whites as well, benefit from the money that is spent in Valdosta and Lowndes County by the federal government. We have traveled to the HUD office in Atlanta, Marietta Street, only to be given the runaround without any real answers to our questions. And it seems sad to me. However, today we are out here because these are clippings from the Valdosta Daily Times newspaper. Willie James Williams died in the Lowndes County Jail in 1998. There were 2,500 people that marched on the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail requesting justice, requesting that inmates be treated humanely, requested that we have an open government in the city and county, and that news media have access to the records of open records as required by the state of Georgia, the number of jail deaths that have taken place, to find out the laws and documentation that shows the procedures of the Lowndes County Jail in relationship to transporting inmates from the jail to the hospital and from the hospital back to the jail. Because we are leading the state of Georgia with 30 jail deaths from 1994 to 2009. And from 2009 to present, no one knows because they won't report it. The newspapers and television stations, along with radio stations and the everyday Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, atheists, and others apparently don't seem to care about the people that die while in custody of our local jail. It has been reported in several newspapers in the state of Georgia that Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail are leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths. Even Fulton County does not have as many jail deaths as Valdosta and Lowndes County for whatever reason. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, CNN, MSNBC, 60 Minutes, 48 Hours, and all these other major national news media networks in the land of the free, with free press and freedom of speech, have even asked a question: why a little metro city such as Valdosta are leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths? In June of 1997, the Honorable Judge Hugh Lawson from the Middle District of Georgia, Valdosta Division, found 60 to 105 violations in the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail in federal court. He found those discrepancies. However, Nothing has been done about it. Now, Dorothea Patterson was an inmate in the Lowndes County Jail that filed a civil lawsuit against the jail, along with about 5 others. 8954-VAL. That's CA 8954-VAL. But nobody ever complied, apparently, with Judge Hugh Lawson's court order. I wrote District Attorney David Miller. I wrote Sarah Crow, who was the then clerk of the court. I wrote the judge himself and asked the question, whoever complied with those problems in medical, inhumane living condition, racial epithets was used against inmates, no air ventilation, circulation throughout the jail. Question was asked by the judge, and he highlighted, they're all on the internet, but nobody seemed to have answered the question. Now, at the time of Judge Hugh Lawson ruling, there was only 3 jail deaths at that jail. But from 1994 to 2009, we've had 30 that have been reported. Inmates say there are more than that. And today, you don't hear nothing, but nothing about it outside of my blog and the people that come out of that place along with their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers. Nobody seems to care. And isn't it strange how when time of war, we call on our sons and daughters to go fight for this country, fight for the freedom of other nations, while our freedoms and rights are going to hell as we elect these politicians, the congressmen and senators, to represent us, and it seems like we're in a worse predicament than the people in China or some other third world nation when it comes down to our elected officials addressing our issues. There were no justice in the Willie James Williams case, the family tells me. Yet 2,500 people cried out. And Judge Hugh Lawson just ruled a few days ago against a local citizen about a problem in the Valdosta City school system. I was talking to an inmate, former inmate, over there on Troop Street, told me Judge Hugh Lawson is not a good judge to have your case tried before. It hurts me to say that as a retired military veteran of 21 years, but I heard veterans, I've heard inmates who say there is no justice here in South Georgia, none whatsoever. They talk about the probation, the unfairness of a system that goes unchecked, unchallenged, and above all, unreported. I have been told, and I have it on video, the individual did a video, said that on March the 8th, 2010, a man, an inmate, a family member were tased in the Lowndes County Jail up in medical. I have names, at least 8 or 9 names of people that know that it took place. I've asked Sheriff Bryan about it at the Democratic monthly meeting in February. And I have yet to receive even a courteous reply from our current sheriff, Sheriff Bryan. And so that should not come as a shock to us. That should not come as a shock. They say we're living in the Bible Belt. But if we're living in the Bible Belt, and if we indeed love the Jesus that many people talk about, why haven't we followed up on the problems in the Lowndes County Jail? This man, Al Parson, Charles Moore, the late Al Parson, sued. It was the only real source of information we had that went out and did investigative reporting. And still, the citizens, the voters, those who lied, not lie, those who placate, duplicate, and imitate Jesus on Sunday and Saturday, They don't care. They apparently do not care about the life of fellow citizens, nor active duty military, because some people stationed at Booty Air Force Base have died in the Lowndes County Jail. Yet, none of our state representatives, local representatives, federal representatives, Department of Justice, nobody seemed to care. This white European Caucasian lady, her teeth knocked out, gouges on both of her legs, taken, transported from the Lowndes County Jail to the South Georgia Medical Center, in ICU for 3 days. The mother didn't know where she was. She called me. George, have you all bailed out? Meaning the civil rights organization. My daughter from the jail, she's not in the jail. She didn't know where she was. I said, call all the hospitals in the area, then try to call the mortuaries. She started by calling the hospitals, found out her daughter had been 3 days in ICU. The hospital didn't tell the mother or the family members or her brother. Nobody in that chain, coroner, I'm not the coroner, well I guess the coroner, anyway, the jail, nor the hospital, nor anybody else called to tell them that that young white girl, a nurse, a registered nurse, had been in ICU for 3 days without any family member knowing her whereabouts. Well, so what was the use of all of this marching and protesting and looking to the legal system, the Southern judiciary, to do something when they in fact did nothing, as far as many of us are concerned? So, although black and white professors from march 2,500 strong, and yet we never received a call. Never received a call from the leaders of our government here in South Georgia in terms of really trying to find out what really happened. Sure, the case went to court, but what does going to court mean? The people who was on the grand jury, you'll hear them on a video called A Chorus of Fear. Listen to them. No, just Google A Chorus of Fear, Valdosta, Georgia, and you'll get the rest of the story. Now you ask yourself, why am I out here today? Why am I concerned when white people, black people, Koreans, Japanese, Jews, Muslims, Christians, Hindu, atheists, and others are in this community and they don't see a problem? These are sons and daughters of some of the best citizens in this community. And how can I go to church in good conscience, or mosque, or synagogue, and know this is going on, and I sit before Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, or whoever, and I ignore God's children in 2012? I think for me to do that would be a hypocrite. And if Jesus, or Muhammad, or Allah, or any other great men like Jesus, if any of them come back and take people to heaven, who can ignore the loss of human life and children of grown mothers and fathers, and we don't say anything? If those deities return and take the people in Valdosta who know about this and say nothing, if they are God, if they're God, put them in heaven, in the hereafter. And as a concerned citizen of the United States of America, I don't want to go to that place. I don't want to sit down with that God. I don't want to be in the presence in the hereafter for all eternity with a person's heart who can see all of this happening and sit down and say nothing while they placate, imitate, and duplicate what they call the God of righteousness. If that's what their God tells them to do, Brother George Boston Rhymes, do not, I repeat, I don't want to go to that heaven and sit among people that can see this going on, just like the Holocaust with the Jews. If people can sit by and see people die and see their rights being violated and know that we are leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths, and from 2009 to present, nobody knows and nobody seems to care. It's just like the Jews being burnt in the oven. And yet people talking about they are Christian, they are a Muslim, they are following Allah, and they are following other deities. I say to you, don't you think somebody is lying? Don't you think somebody is hypocrite? Don't you think something is wrong in the United States of America while we placate and duplicate? When will the American citizens wake up? We can send our sons and daughters to fight on foreign battlefields and to die while we sit back, placate, duplicate, and imitate the God of creation, and we are only lying to ourselves. What say you, the best of the American people, if we have any left? Today, September 9th, 2012, doing what I do because I believe in the real God who cares about real people. Until next time, bye-bye, we're gone.